Hey, it's Cass from Cardlens with a new video. There's something unique that's happened in the last few days, and that is Topps has sent out missing hit replacements for the Garbage Pail Kids Sapphire set that are selling for 400, 500, 600, and sometimes even more than that. This is something new. We've never really seen this before, so I wanted to dive into the data, show you what we're seeing, and have a conversation about what these cards may eventually be worth. Um, so let's take a look at some of the examples here. If we go to eBay and look at recently sold for Garbage Pail Kids Sapphire Pink, here you go, 420 for Green Jean, 400 for Bugged Bert, 500 for Stormy Heather. On down the list, here's a six-pack sold for $3,500 even without a best offer. A little bit lower, there was a Blasted Billy here that sold for $2,500. This is significant money, especially for cards that have been sent as replacements for missing hits. So what happened is some folks who purchased boxes of these cards sent in this form. It took many, many months to get the cards back, but when they eventually got them back, many people, if not most people, received these pink cards as replacements for missing hits. The odds were on the back of the box initially, and in fact on the top of the box, if you looked closely, it said there were two parallels inside. So these are expensive boxes. Folks were expecting to get two parallels in every box, and if you got one or zero parallels, then you sent in one of these forms, and eventually you're starting to get back these missing hits. What's really surprising to me initially was, boy, that's a high value for a missing hit card, especially when you consider that an entire box still costs about $500. And when they initially came out, they were $50 at retail plus shipping. And you could get them for 150, 200, 250 in the early days here. So to have a box that costs a few $100s and a missing hit that costs many hundreds of dollars was surprising to me. A couple other details here on what's going on, because there's some confusion out there. I personally was confused when I saw these pink cards because there already are parallels that look very similar that are inside the box and have been selling for a long time. The one of one in this particular set is called Pod Parasha. It certainly is a pink color. I personally have seen a couple of these. You can go on eBay and see what they look like. But they look very similar to these pink cards that were sent out. Similarly, the red cards, which are numbered to 5, often photograph very pink. Up close, they can look red. In fact, if you scan them in, here's an image of one of the cards scanned in, they really do look red. But you can see how confusion might arise if you just look at the front of the cards here, comparing the pink to the already existing parallels. The key to telling the difference is going to be on the back of the card. So the one of ones will say 1/1 stamped in foil on the back of the card. Similarly, the reds will have a number out of 5 stamped in the back. Here's an example, 2 of 5, and another example, 1 of 5. For these new pink cards, they're going to say refractor on the back. It's a little hard to see here, but if you Google Garbage Pail Kids Sapphire Pink and zoom in on the images, you should be able to see the words refractor. I believe these aren't stamped in, but rather printed on the card. And one key, very important detail is there have been instances where the word refractor did not appear on the back of the card. It's just a blank back of the card. Most of them I've seen do say refractor, but there are some that are just a blank back. So bringing it home, the question I've been asked by a lot of folks is, well, how much are these cards worth? How much should I buy and sell these pink cards for? So we're going to use the data to try to tease that out and understand what they're worth. And I initially, when I saw these, was somewhat conservative when I saw prices in the $300, $400, $500 range. I've seen this pattern before in this particular set. In the early days when the set came out, the first sales for the Atom Bomb base card, for example, were in the $350 range, high $100 ranges right here. And it quickly came down, kind of that $50, $55, $60 range. Similar patterns were seen for Nasty Nick, for Blasted Billy. And in fact, if you look really closely at the patterns for the boxes themselves, there also was this initial spike where they were selling for $300, $400, $500 on eBay for the first couple days, and then it came down very quickly and started its steady march back up to 500. But as you can see, it came down to the low 100s, mid 100s, low 200s, and was at that level for a few weeks right there. So again, I was cautious because I've seen this early pattern of very high values once an initial product comes out, and then kind of a drop right there. So I wanted to see if that pattern would hold for these pinks. Well, the good news is we've started to automatically track the prices for these as we have for every other parallel. As a reminder, this tracks the sale price, the final sale price on eBay of every parallel card from the set from the beginning of time. So it's a nice kind of baseline of data that helps you ride the waves up and down of the price kind of as the market goes up and down. And if you scroll towards the bottom, you'll see across all the pinks that have sold, the average sale price is in fact $467. There've been roughly, I think, 15 of these that have sold, so we're starting to see real numbers here. And that compares favorably to the other parallel levels around it. I mean, look at red, all-time $427. Certainly these days it's a little bit higher than that, but red out of 5 at $427, Pod Parasha at $1620. So pink is kind of in the ballpark here, more than purple, which is at $240, gold, which is $182. As a reminder, these are out of 10 and out of 15. So folks are certainly paying a premium for these particular cards initially. As a reminder, we've added this tracker to our website. Just go to cardlens.com, click on blog, and you can't miss it. This data will be here, and we're constantly updating it. So let's chart this out here. If you look at PAD across all time, 1620 ASP, red 427, purple 248, etc. And we can add in this new pink parallel color. Initial view is that $467 is the average sale price for this. But here's the key here, which is there's a big question mark about what is the print run of this. Topps has not released information. They've not shared anything publicly. So like we did similarly for this set, we kind of have to figure out some of the details here based on the clues that are left behind in the data that's being tracked. And good news here, we can go right back to this rich set of data that Ben and the community is tracking here on the breaks. What we can do is we can see across the 2,585 boxes that have been tracked, they've specifically recorded how many were zero-hit boxes and how many were one-hit boxes. There have been a total of 64 zero-hit boxes and a total of 425 one-hit boxes. So if you work that out, that's a rate of 2.47% of all boxes that are zero hits and 16.39% that are one hits. Totaled up across the 15,936 boxes that were ever produced, we can assume there are going to be 394 total zero-hit boxes and 2,612 total one-hit boxes. So there's a total of 788 missing hits from the zero hitters and a total of 2612 from the one hitters, summing up to 3,400 total estimated missing hits in all the boxes that were ever produced. The other thing we've noticed is that they didn't produce these pink cards for all 166 characters, only for the first 100. So that's 1 A and B through 50 A and B, for which these pink cards are showing up in the market. So if you take the 3,400 total, divide by 100 characters, what that gives us is what I call an upper bound to the print run here of 34. I don't actually think it's at 34. I'll go into that in a minute. But that's really the upper bound here of how many those were printed. And as you can see, that's more than orange, gold, purple, red. It's actually less than green, which is the next level below, which had 50 print run. But again, I don't think the print run is at 34. We also can find a lower bound of that print run at 3. How do we do that? Well, again, Ben and the team to the rescue. This is really a data collection home run. They're tracking how many of each character are showing up both on eBay, but more importantly, in the community, on the various forums in Facebook in particular. And as you can see, the maximum number of a given character that's shown up is 3 currently. So that gives us the kind of lower bound right here of what the print run could be, 3. So it's between 3 and 34, most likely. What do we think that actual, final number is? Well, this is where I think we'll need some time to play out to really figure it out. I personally think that the number is probably on the lower half of the average. So let's say between 5 and 15 could be the print run. And here's kind of my thinking there. Very likely they have printed more of these, right? So this is an initial flurry of missing hit replacements, but for sure, now that folks are seeing the prices here, there's going to be a lot of those missing hit forms sent in the near future. So I would guess Topps anticipated that, and they have printed more and are ready to respond to those missing hit forms with those additional cards. In addition, have they printed more of characters 51 through 83? Like I said, we've only seen characters 1 through 50 so far, so I wonder, have they printed more 51 through 83? Also, I've pinged a lot of folks in the community who are experienced in missing hits from Topps. And what they've shared is, well, Topps can do really anything that they want. Maybe they'll save some of these that were printed and put them in a future Sapphire release, maybe a future Chrome release. Maybe there will be more of these given away in the future for other missing hits, that folks receive. So it's very likely, I'd say, that they've printed more. How many more? To be determined. There's no really way of telling that. But let's say, for example, they printed double or triple the number that have already been sent out. So that kind of puts you in that 6 or 9 print run range. The other thing I'd really like to note is, I said to some folks who are experienced in these missing hits, what's going on here? Is this normal for Topps to send replacements that are of such high value? And the answer is no. This is really rare, if not unprecedented, for Topps, specifically to send missing hits that are of such high value, and also to add a new parallel color to a set like this. The folks I've pinged have never seen this before, and I think that's really interesting. Final note here, I put there's a movement here to maybe call these rose gold to avoid the confusion with pink. Again, the cards look very similar to the Pod Parasha or pink one of ones. Those one of ones are sometimes called pink rather than Pod Parasha. So I'll leave that up to the community, but if there's a movement towards rose gold or pink, I'm agnostic. We'll make sure to track in our data no matter what they're called. So that's that. The final note I'll say personally is I'm kind of sad that they sent out these pinks. As everyone probably knows by now, the teal parallel color, which is numbered out of 99, it's the lowest price parallel for this particular set. There's 22 of those 166 characters that have never been seen. These are the 22 missing teals. I thought Topps would have a wonderful opportunity to send out those missing teals as the missing hit replacements. In fact, I thought they had actually held them back, and that's what was going to be received. There was this long delay of many months where folks weren't getting replacements. I thought Topps must have these sitting somewhere, and they're going to send them out as missing hit replacements. And that is simply not the case, it looks like. And that makes me very sad that perhaps these missing teals are lost forever. Maybe not. Maybe they'll print them in the future. As we see, Topps can, print these new parallel colors at any time. But I think that would really help complete a lot of people's teal sets, a lot of rainbows that are out there awaiting these missing teals. So hopefully, if Topps is listening, really hope that they introduce those into the market. Many of you will also be saying, well, how can I submit a missing hit form if I had a box with 0 or 1 hits? We'll put the links down below. These are the instructions from Topps. This is what the form looks like. You simply print this out. And I'll also put a link to this handy video that someone else created about exactly what to do. So that's that. $500 missing hit replacements from Topps. I mean, it's really kind of really shaken up, I'd say, the collection, maybe reawoken people's interest in this set. We'll see. It's certainly unique, or at least rare, for Topps to do this. And I'll be really interested to see how the prices shake out over the coming weeks. Also, really love your feedback and comments. It's helped me learn from all of you about what we're seeing here. So please, if anything doesn't make sense, if you have a comment on what we've seen in this video today, please leave a comment below. That's it. Really hope this video was helpful, and have a great day, guys. Thanks a lot.